Hello, it's Jeffrey Langlois, Langlois Vital Nutrition Center here in Brookfield, Wisconsin. Our mission is to help you improve your health naturally. I like to get smarter all the time in order to help me improve my health and to help you improve your health. I was asked to do a video on how I make my delicious coffee. Bulletproof coffee is very popular right now, but personally I find that I don't do great with all that butter or coconut oil or even the brain octane first thing in the morning. If I'm going to do coffee, I do much better with black coffee. You definitely don't want to add any sugar or sweeteners to your coffee. Remember, we want to get our blood sugar down. As long as your blood sugar is at 85 or below, great. Let's say 70 to 85 is excellent. First thing in the morning, okay? So if you can get away with that and put some sugar in your coffee, great. I can't. I don't think probably 80% of the population can. But anyway, it's good to have a really good cup of coffee that's smooth, easy on the stomach, not too acidic. So this is my favorite way to make coffee. It's very inexpensive. You got to get yourself a little filter holder. I put a paper filter on the middle there. So what you want to do, I've already boiled the water here. So the water's been boiled. And you want to wet the filter. Okay, so you want to wet because the paper filters actually still have a little taste of the paper from the paper making. So we're going to just flush that out. You got to have a really good coffee. It's very important that coffee be organic. Do not drink non-organic coffee. It is poison. I mean, if you don't mind putting poison in your body, great. Then don't worry about it. But it's one of the most heavily sprayed crops in the world. They crop dust this stuff with millions of tons of very poisonous chemicals. So these are excellent coffees that I really love. They're Costa Rican coffees. I bring them back. We sell them here in the office. They are organic, even though they don't say it. I know the company. They don't use any chemicals on their coffee beans. The Poas, the Three Rivers, Bulletproof makes also an excellent coffee. So I like starting with a whole bean. I'm not going to just take the time to measure it right now. You're going to do that on your own. Grind the bean. We've got some ground bean. We've already wet the paper. We're going to throw that water out. There we go. So for 1 cup of coffee, I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of ground coffee. Look at that. I've made coffee before. Apparently I'm pretty good at guessing. That's about 2 tablespoons right there of freshly ground coffee. Now, if you really want to get a great cup of coffee, which I really enjoy a lot, I'm half Costa Rican, so I guess that's why I love coffee. It's in my blood. You want to just put a little bit of water on there, just enough to just wet the ground. So you want to let it bloom. You're going to let the coffee breathe. It's also going to help to release some of the carbon dioxide. That's something from the roasting process, so we're going to get that out of the coffee. You're going to let that sit for about 45 seconds, 30 seconds to a minute. But you want to let those grounds kind of sit in that water. So we're going to just pretend here that 45 seconds went by. It did not. So all I did was wet the grounds, just kind of saturate them, let it sit. Now I'm going to do that again. Saturate the grounds with a little bit of coffee. I'm going to let that settle in. Well, we didn't measure the water here, so you're actually going to want to measure the water because now for about that's going to be about 8 ounces of water. So let's just say I already measured, I've got 8 ounces of water, and now I'm going to put very gently in a little more water. Let it settle in. This is a little larger than 8 ounces. It's a 16-ounce jar. So I got more water here, but I'm not drinking any more coffee. I had 1 cup today, and that's that's pretty much what I limit myself to, 1 cup in the morning. And anybody who's got thyroid issues seem to do very well with a little coffee. I tend to run a little cold, a little low thermostat in my body, and that coffee helps to get things going. And usually do about, you want to divide this into about 3 or 4 pour-overs. 3 or 4 times you add the water to the grounds. And let it sit. Let me just clean up my mess here. There we go. Beautiful. All right, just freshly ground bean. Let that sink in. Got about an 8-ounce cup of coffee, and that's it. If you want to add butter or heavy whipping cream, half and half, don't really like milk. Most of it's all A1, unless you can get some A2 dairy. You can add cream, you can add a little bit of coconut oil, you could add a little bit of the MCT oil, the brain octane, something to help the ketones. My liver doesn't really like those a lot, so I do better just on a plain, good filtered coffee. And this is my favorite way to make coffee. There's also the French press, which I think we have up here. Yeah, we have a French press here. I don't really like the French press that much. A little more grounds end up in the coffee. Not quite as good. And there you have it. That's how I make my coffee. All right. Have a blessed rest of the day or evening or whatever it may be. And thank you, and we'll see you soon.